was cleaning and putting stuff up, I decided I was going to take that down, and I put up the Lego portrait of our Lord and Savior Darth Vader next to our
Right.
bed, and my wife was not amused.
Gee.
She's like,
Understandable.
why didn't you just put it above the TV in our room? And I'm like, I was going to put it above the door, but it's too damn tall.
Right. I don't get to decide where Lord Vader goes, madam. His will is his own.
Yeah, Nymph doesn't want to look at himself. He wants to look at what he wants to be.
That's right.
Yes.
It's an
Always setting
aspirational.
goals.
Yeah. Dress for the job you want and all that.
It's my little kitten pull-up poster.
Right. Right.
It's Eat, Pray, Dark Side. That's what the book is.
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Man.
You know what?
Okay.
Pray, Dark Side would be a fucking great show title.
That
I'm
would
so
be.
Pissed.
And yeah, you gotta save that one next time. Okay. Are you guys ready to start recording?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpear.
Howdy.
Cheers. And the Nymph.
Hello.
Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Get all the early access, behind the scenes, super cool, largely uncensored episodes over there. We're doing, I think, season 6. It has just started over there of Critical Misses. Doing something a little bit different for that season. I was forget which season we're on because we're always like a season and a half or 2 seasons ahead. So go check out over there, and don't forget to listen to the Outcast. That's our uncensored, cool behind the scenes kind of shoot the poop stuff we do every week. At the $5 a month tier, recommended one, you get everything. Season 6. Thank you. That's patreon.com/E1M1. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
1 second. Right now I'm playing Mark all these episodes as played.
Oh, I see.
I was in them. I don't need to listen to them.
Yeah, that's right. I was there.
Okay, so 3 games this week, a grand increase of 1 from last week. So
Fantastic.
progress is being made. That's the pointy end. Sorry, I need to write down titles. As
That's
I
the
go.
stabby bit.
Yes, that's the bit that the screen recognizes and does my crappy handwriting with.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start off with one that we can both talk about, Boston, because I want to get this out the way early in the show. If you're not a fan of a games as a service game that Boston is obsessed with, skip forward like 10 minutes and then see if we're still talking about it. Boston already knows what it is. He's already written the game title down. Why don't you tell him?
Wrote down D2, Destiny 2.
Yep. Not Dark Alliance 2, Destiny 2.
Right.
Season of the Splicer.
Yippers. Some real cool Tron business going on in the Vex network? ? There's lore stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably the biggest summation that you can have for this, is that there is lore stuff.
You
That lore happened.
You get to shoot Vex in like a 80s cyberspace. It's cool. It's nice.
Yeah, it is. I also got my hammer from last season at last, so
nice.
that worked out pretty nicely.
Great,
I guess.
yeah. Now you got a lot of stuff to do, yeah.
Go away with a lot of stuff to do. I have too much stuff to do at the best of times.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, thanks to the patronage, not you patrons, you didn't pay for it. Boston paid for it.
I did.
I got the season pass for this season, which is good timing because apparently it's going to be a very long season, and I don't want to, rush through things / only play Destiny for the rest of my life.
Yeah. We'll leave that to one of us.
Yes, one of us being
Yeah.
you. You're the one who has the Destiny group.
Yes.
So yeah, Destiny continues to be a really good mechanical shooter with no idea about what's going on about the rest of it.
Yeah, they're continuing some storylines that haven't been a part of, really. It's like, it's the Avengers, and they're getting the Avengers initiative together.
Yeah, because Weird Future War Cult Lady is back.
Yeah, she showed back up after like a year and a half of being out in space and doing stuff, and she's suddenly like space racist, where she's like, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
what about all these fallen in the tower? How about if we just kill them all?" And everybody's like, "Whoa, what's happened to you? What is going on?"
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
Cora's back, which is great. Or
Yep.
Cora has more lines, I should say, which is great.
Yep. Her new voice actor is doing a real good job.
It's not the same person. I
It's-
thought that was the same person.
Yeah, it's not Gina Torres. It's I don't remember her line or
I
her
could
name.
have sworn it was Gina Torres.
Yeah, she's killing it. She's doing a great job.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Credit, even more credit where it's due then, I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah, she came back and she's sort of like, "Yeah, man, stuff's all real bad."
So, who's Osiris?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me see how I can do this in as short as possible. He was he is a very famous warlock in the sort of the Destiny universe. He was Ikora's
he's like-
mentor for a really long time.
Like that main dude who leads the Guardians. Like, he is the warlock version of him.
Yeah, he was the like the first Warlock Vanguard. That's now Ikora. He's Ikora's mentor for a really long time. He has been really weird for quite a few seasons now. There seems to be something going on where he's a little bit more brash than normal. He in last season or 2 seasons ago, it's 2 seasons ago, he sort of went and did something he shouldn't have and got his ghost killed. For anyone that doesn't play Destiny,
His ghost, like his little ball thing, not
Yeah.
like not a spiritual version of himself.
no, those are no.
Couldn't they be spiritual versions? I mean, they do revive you.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't play Destiny, the ghost is the thing that brings you back to life. So he's in a really bad spot right now because he has lost the thing that makes him a guardian. Because he was
disconnected from the light.
Yeah, because he was stupid and he didn't listen to his ghost and got her killed. So he's in a real weird spot right now, and he's acting odd. Is sort of the sort of cliff notes for that, where every time he shows up in the season, it's sort of like, what are you doing, man? Something seems weird about you. So,
Is he going to use the splices to get himself a new ghost?
I don't believe that can happen. I don't think
I
you
was
can
gonna say,
get
can
another
you even
ghost.
get a new ghost?
I don't think so. If you can, I don't know if that there's a precedent in the lore for that. It's usually
Also,
go ahead.
why does he have to take his name so literally?
Osiris is an interesting guy.
Tell them what he looks like.
He
You look like the god Osiris.
he looks like a big feathery bird. I don't like his outfit. I think it's way too on the nose or the beak.
I can
if
get
you
behind
want.
that.
Yeah.
You are a fan of the Stargate universe, Nim, correct?
Yeah.
You remember when you saw all the other like Greek god slave people with their giant helmets of like the eagles and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
That's Osiris.
That's what I'm picturing, and
Looks-
I'm glad that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Except it's not as big as that. It's just like he's wearing like a
It doesn't
side-
make him 9 feet tall when he's really 5'2".
Yeah.
No.
Although it is cool because he is voiced by Oded Fehr, the guy from the first Mummy movie, and he's great.
Wait, the scarab dude?
Yep. No, with the face tattoos, like the guy who's like, "Hey man, maybe you shouldn't go do that stuff."
If he
Whoa,
takes
whoa,
his
whoa.
helmet off, does he have eyeliner on?
He doesn't have a helmet on. Does he have
No,
eyeliner?
his weird thing is like his headpiece is like the Osiris mask comes down his face. It's so
Yeah.
Oh,
stupid.
this just gets
Yeah.
better. I
Yeah,
need
it's
to look
not.
this guy up.
I love Destiny. It's not great.
I almost asked if that guy was one of the Brunin G, but that's a Lex reference. That's not a
Sure.
Mummy reference.
Right.
I know the guy you're talking about now, though.
Yeah.
The Ancient Order of Protectors, the one.
Yes.
that-
Yeah, the
Ronald-
lead guy for
Ronald-
that. Yeah. Somehow he is still voicing Osiris season over season. He must, like Lance Reddick, he must apparently really love Destiny. Lance Reddick also
Oh,
doesn't play a Titan, which is hilarious.
He's just wearing like a shell, basically.
Yeah.
Like a hood and a face covering. That's it. Oh, that's kind of
bunch of feathers. Always talking about timelines and stuff.
Dude, his name is Osiris. He's in the future, and he's wearing the Greek god, the Egyptian god crap.
Yeah. Although I will say, this led to the next picture of the Destiny 2 Trials of Osiris awards, where you get the Egyptian armor and the helmets that actually look closer to what I was hoping he was wearing.
They look so cool, man. I will never get them because I'm not that good, but man, they look good.
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, yes, the story has been interesting so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that they're doing the weekly content drops that you mentioned previously, because I'm pretty sure I jumped in this week and got a mission I didn't have last week.
Yeah, so it's essentially, it looks like there's going to be 8 of them. So for the first 8 weeks of the season, it'll be one will release every week. You can catch up if you miss a week, so it's not going to be... You can actually catch up until Witch Queen launches, so you have plenty of time. You have like months and months to catch up on this stuff.
I don't even know which Queen is, dude.
That's the next major expansion launching in like March of next year. So you have like an entire year to catch up on all the stuff that happened and is happening between Beyond Light, which is the last expansion, and then Witch Queen, which is the next one. They'll do one every week. It'll usually like go talk to that giant servitor ball in the helm. It'll give you some voice lines and some new stuff. Go out and do a bunch of stuff. Talk to Mithrax, our old good buddy Mithrax, and then kind of catch back up.
Yeah, then listen to the argument between FWC, Osiris, Ikora, the Fallen guy, and Saint 16, who was also apparently a space racist.
Yeah, he's coming around. He's got a heart of gold, but he might have gotten killed by the Vex a long time ago, so is sort of maybe not super great about feeling great about them.
Yeah,
but
originally he was more like kill everything and not just
Yeah.
Maybe space racist is a bit extreme. Space communist is probably the best way to describe him.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate. Yeah, but they're continuing.
Also,
he's
Russian.
Yeah, he's really great. Bungie's continuing the really great thing they did last season, which is here's this place we're going to go to for story stuff, and all of the major actors in this DLC or this season are going to be there with you, talking to you and talking to each other, which I know for like a video game is not this groundbreaking thing, but in Destiny a lot of it was
laps around the tower to go and talk to 15
or like in a mission there's like 3 people talking off screen at you, and thankfully they're now all in the same area kind of arguing with and talking to each other, and that from a storytelling perspective it's a huge difference, and it's such an improvement. It's so good. Also, you can walk away if you don't care. Yeah, you can just leave. Peace out.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, peace out, space nerds. Yeah, but you should stick around because all of it's really good.
I played a bit of Destiny. I'm like level 19 on the season pass.
Yep.
I've done a whole bunch of I want to say Decode, but that's a Paramore song.
Override?
Yes, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
6-person activity?
Yes, I've done that a whole bunch.
That's fun. That's a good time.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it forces you to play other modes, because it's like, yo, go do this mode. By the way, if you... Let's talk about the lack of tutorialization.
Yes, please. My favorite topic of Destiny, which is we're going to toss a player in here and you figure it out, whatever.
Well, since this is my first season, it's like, number one, I didn't know what the splicer arm was for. Like, I'm just carrying around this splicer arm for reasons.
Oh, the gauntlet? Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have to go into it and you have to charge it with these things that you get from killing people in all the modes. So then
kill enemies to drop ether, to make ether keys, to use that to open chests at the end of the override activity. Not confusing at all.
Not in the slightest.
No.
Not at all. Not to mention it doesn't tell you how to do that.
It does not.
I figured that out.
The bummer part is, like, now that you know how to do that, that's the mechanic you use for every season. So, like, now you've got it set going forward.
Because I went and checked
like,
on the hammer, and that's exactly how the hammer worked, too.
Yep. And now you get decrypted data to go to the thing in the helm to upgrade your gauntlet to do other... Yeah. Frustrating.
Because now I hold 4 charges with a capacity of 400 rather than 3 and 100. So, yeah. I'm getting there. I'm using my 30-something years of playing video game knowledge.
Your osmosis knowledge.
Yeah, it's Destiny. Mechanically, it's still one of the best shooters out there.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't beat it.
Especially for someone who does not like PvP, there is a whole bunch of PvE in this.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I am unfortunately being forced to play PvP modes. As part of the season passes, I got the sidearm exotic that does stasis damage.
Yeah, like the Cryo Stasia 77X. It has a very Destiny gun name.
Yes, and of course, to upgrade that and give it the
catalyst.
What's it, Tim? Thank you. Give it the catalyst. You have to kill Guardians.
Boy, that was a rough couple of matches for me.
So I forced myself to play PvP this week.
Yeah.
So I did not do well. I did not win any of them, but I'm like at 30 out of 50, so I'm happy with that for now.
Nice.
I will get there eventually, I guess.
Yep.
Still working on doing the stupid... Literally, I go in and I do the gold dots. That's all I'm doing at the moment.
Yep.
It's like, do I have a new story mode? No, I'm going to do some gold dot modes.
Yep.
Get them done.
Get all those good drops.
Yep. So I've done my override 3 times for this week. I've opened the 3 chests 3 times for this week at override. I've still got to do my strikes.
Yep.
Still got to do something else. Still got to do my challenge on Europa.
Sure. Yep.
Machine challenge. I
Exo
still don't know what that
something. Yeah.
Dude, this sounds like a honeydew list.
It's really not that bad because the thing...
It's really not that bad. He just listed off like 10 things he has to do.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to do them. It's all these things that are guaranteed to give you a drop that will increase your light level. So, like, if you don't want to do 3 PvP matches, that's fine. You can do 3 strikes instead, or you can do 3 gambit matches. Or if you want to do all of them and get a bunch of drops, then you can do that. Or if you don't want to do any of them, go crazy. Don't do it. Whatever. It's none of this stuff is really required. Like the seasonal stuff for Override, that stuff continues the story, and all the rest of it is like, do as much as or as little as you want to get. Here are the rewards you can get.
Yeah, I do have a bunch of 6 splicer armor though, so now I look like a weird feathery titan. So that's hilarious.
Yeah, the armor, the Lightkin armor for this season looks real good. Yeah,
still using my weird helmet though, so that's interesting. But
yeah,
no,
we gotta play together soon. I didn't have a lot of time this week, but
you know how to see if I'm online.
So, okay,
kick up an Xbox app.
Let's talk about this app here for a second, because the big selling point of a recent update to the Xbox app was it will let you know when favorite people have come online. It was like, perfect. I will favorite Moon. It'll let me know when he comes online. That's incorrect. It does that on the Xbox. If you're logged in, it doesn't do that on the app. Microsoft.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people on my friends list who I know when they log in, so then I know to either expect a party invite, jump into a party,
right,
or very quickly turn my Xbox off.
Right. Peace out. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, that's what I want. Like, the PlayStation app is really good about that. Like, if you have these people favorited, it will pop up an iOS notification that, hey, this dude has come online. I would really like that for the Xbox app. Because if you're online and I have like 2 free hours, I'd love to play Destiny together, but I don't, like, I'm not checking the app that often.
So you're always obsessed with Destiny.
I will always play Destiny, yeah. Unless it's the end of the season and I'm kind of done.
I get so many achievement notifications because I made the mistake of like not disabling notifications on my phone. So anytime I unlock an achievement, if my PC is turned on, I get 4 bing bongs.
Yep.
I get a kaplunk on my television, so that goes through my headset. I hear the kaplunk from this room where the PC is currently situated. Then I hear my phone go bing bong, and then I hear my tablet go bing bong. And it's like,
Great.
I just got that achievement 4 times.
Hell yeah.
That scared when I went on my tirade of grabbing achievements last month randomly. I didn't know that the app would do that through your PC as well, and I had my speakers way up at 2 in the morning, and I hear it on the TV through my headset. I'm like, cool, and then my speakers just blare out the diamond noise. I'm like, what the hell?
Nice.
That'll do it. But yes, Destiny continues to be fantastic. I will have a look into this thing that you're talking about, Boston, and see if there's any way to actually allow notifications for people coming online.
Yeah, that'd be great, because
I'm the quiet person, so I ain't going to jump into a party randomly. I'm not going to invite you to a party, and I'm sure as hell not going to text you to tell you I'm online and playing Destiny, because I don't want to force my presence on people. That's not what I do. Literally a core part of my personality is, no matter how much I want, no matter how much I might want to play with somebody, I'm not going to text you in case I bother you. That's the British in me.
I will formally invite your presence. If you decide not to text, I totally understand. That's just part of how you operate, and that's okay.
Invite the vampire over the threshold. And...
That's right. I'm inviting you over the threshold. And whatever happens, you know.
You 100% let the wrong one in, let me tell you that right now.
That's right. Yes. I will try and hit you up sometime this week, and we will try and play some Destiny.
Yeah, dude, it's real simple. If you have a couple of hours and you don't know what you're doing, open up the Xbox app, you'll see me online. If you see me online, and in a game, I should say, not watching Plex or not watching Netflix or not watching YouTube. If I'm in a game, then whatever. I'm usually fair game.
Yeah.
Anything else for Destiny from you, Boston?
No, it's the beginning of the season, so I'm largely doing the same things. Where it's like, all right, 3 Gambit, 3 Strikes, 3 PvP, even the new stuff like
2 Strikes and Gambit this week. I think
doing the raid, doing the Exo challenge. Like it's a lot of like kind of doing the. For me, it's a lot of like I want to get the seasonal title, so a lot of it is, I need to do 10 override. Games flawlessly, like without dying, so I'll work on some of that. I'm gonna get the new Gambit title, so I'm working on a lot of that, like a lot of longer chases for this season.
Yeah, I'm always an idiot as well, so I always think, I'll do Gambit, and then not go to the tower and not pick up Gambit bounties.
Yeah.
Have to drop out after one game and then go get bounties and then go back into it again. And there's like...
You should download the Destiny companion app, because you can pick up bounties from the app if you're in orbit. So you don't have to like fly to a bunch of different places to pick up bounties.
I don't want to install the Destiny app.
You don't have to. Just a little smoother.
The last time I used it, though, it does save you a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Next, I'll introduce you to DestinyItemManager.com.
No. If something is not golden, I destroy it. I don't care. It can get destroyed.
Sure. I don't blame you.
Can you still mess with items and equipment and stuff like that through the companion app?
To some form, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, Destiny 2 continues to be good. Still a good game.
Yep. My second game, it's MLB The Show. Guess who's in the major leagues, baby?
Whoa, hello.
So Big Daddy Smith?
Big Daddy Smith joins the Cleveland Indians.
Hell yeah, on the winning team, right, guys?
Uh-huh. I got promoted. I got my achievement. I stopped playing that mode.
The Indians signed a brand new Big Daddy Smith. He was great for about 2 games, and then he left, just disappeared.
Well, honestly, the Road to the Show mode is actually pretty fun to play. Like I think I've said before, I'm actually enjoying the Road to the Show story mode. I'm enjoying the Diamond Exchange, Diamondback Gorillas, whatever the Diamond Dynasty. There we go. Diamond Dynasty. I'm enjoying those modes, but achievements, I have to get them all before the game leaves Game Pass, because I don't know when that might be. It's Sony.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, can we talk about how stupid the Sony logo is for their studios?
For Sony San
Black-
Diego?
Yeah, and PlayStation Studios, because you load up Minecraft on a PlayStation, and I'm pretty sure it's a big green screen that says Microsoft Xbox Studios or whatever it is.
Yep.
You load up a Sony game on an Xbox, and it's the PS Studios and
Yeah.
then San Diego Studio. It
Right.
doesn't say Sony or PlayStation very vividly right there in front of you. It's like
they like tried to do the cool like Marvel Cinematic Universe intro, and it's like, yeah, cool, but like just say Sony PlayStation Studios. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's hilarious that like Microsoft are all about that branding.
Yep.
That
so hot green.
You're playing an Xbox game on the PlayStation, whereas Sony's like, I don't know, this is like a weird PS, which I know it's a PlayStation logo because I grew up with it, but
it's a PS joint, right? And it's like, what?
Dude, a PS joint, that'll cost you extra, mate.
That's true. Yeah, that's the good
and
stuff.
It's legal in New York now.
There you go.
It is in the state of Michigan too. Yeah.
A little hard to find, but you know.
Yes. But yes, I'm in the major leagues now, so I stopped playing that mode. I didn't also haven't played any more Diamond
Dallas Page.
How is it that you made the reference for wrestling and I didn't?
That's right. Diamond Dynasty.
Yes, that mode. I haven't played any more of that because I don't need to increase my player stats anymore because I'm already in the Indians. Which, by the way, I managed to get to my gold archetype. I'm already halfway to the platinum, diamond archetype.
Ah, there it is.
And my stats went from 64 overall to 72 overall, just from changing to a silver to a gold archetype. So, complete those missions, especially now that you can complete those missions.
Most importantly.
Definitely complete those missions. But I did jump over to March to October.
Okay.
Which, number one, I love how punny this name is.
Mm-hmm.
Because October is when the baseball season ends.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into postseason, which is not the Super Bowl, the other one.
Playoffs?
No, yeah, well, but it's leading. What's the big game? The World Series. God. Thank you. There we go.
Ooh. Sports games.
We like sports.
Yep. Goodness.
But it's the March, because it starts in March. March to October is a time frame, but March to October is the march of time to October to get to the end of the season to try and make the World Series.
Right.
That's a clever title right there.
I like it.
So yeah, I started playing that mode because guess what has achievements associated with it?
There it is.
Yep. And of course I picked Dodgers, because why wouldn't I pick the Dodgers with their best overall rating of first in almost everything and apparently a dynasty in the making?
Wow.
So, March to October is a very interesting mode because you don't have to play 900 games of baseball.
Oh, thank God.
It's hard to explain. It's like a timeline basically across the bottom of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you started playing Road to the Show, you know you have to play every single one of those games, or at least your participation in those games.
Oh, sure.
March to October is like, okay, this is a key moment. It's the season opener. Let's see what we do. In my case, it was a season opener away, so it was like perform well, whatever. However, March to October for most of the games, we're going to start you at a point in the game. In this case, it was the top of the 7th, and we were already 5-0 up. So it's like, cool.
Oh, nice.
I just have to finish this game, and it'll be fine. You do that, and then depending on your performance, it gives you heat. Your team may be on fire, one might say.
Uh-huh.
And then it basically simulates a whole bunch of games to the next key moment. And in the meantime, if it's like a close match or something, it'll take away some of your heat, put it towards that game, and say you won this because your team was fired up or whatever. And then it'll just keep simulating. Here is a key moment. Your pitcher is at the top of the 7th, and they're throwing a no-hitter.
Okay.
Finish the match as the pitcher, player locked to the pitcher, and get a no-hitter.
Okay, that's cool.
Really increase your team's heat. Momentum is the word. Momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it, you don't do it, and it'll be like plus, minus, whatever, heat, cold. It's like, oh, this player is having a rough time, perform well, and he gets a season-long boost for the rest of the games.
Oh, wow.
So it's like 3 innings at a time, like 5 weeks, one after the other after the other. Like, it just simulates so quickly through them all.
That's a cool idea.
It's really neat. And then it's like, oh, this baseman looks like he's got some really good potential. Let's see what we can do. And then, you take control of the basement and you give him a stat boost by performing well. I'm playing it on rookie because I want to hit those balls out the park as much as I can.
Yep.
So it's weird because I literally have to swing at everything because everything is in the plate. Like there's no balls are thrown at all. It's just everything is in that strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, it's actually been pretty good because it's got the whole MLB The Show presentation as well. Like there's interviews, like a sideline reporter standing undercover because it's raining.
That's great.
And they're like, the Dodgers come here. This guy is just a new signer. I learned about Bauer, the pitcher, this week because apparently he didn't used to cheat and now he's cheating and his stats increased ridiculously.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a big thing in pitching with pine tar or equivalents to make
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's getting an asterisk.
I didn't know about this at all.
Yeah.
And basically, apparently, every single pitcher on the planet does it.
Okay.
But Bauer didn't used to do it and used to basically crap talk everyone on Twitter, especially his old college rival, for using pine tar. And then he pitched for the Indians and had one of the worst seasons of his career where it wasn't anything special. And then he signed for the Dodgers and his stats went up like 30%.
Weird.
And then so did every other pitcher on his team's stats went up 30%.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
And this guy's on Twitter talking about experimenting with different types of compounds and recipes.
Right.
Without ever actually saying, yo, I'm cheating now.
Right.
Because my college rival got signed to like a $600 million contract and I'm annoyed about that. So now I'm going to start cheating. And now he's signed to the Dodgers, weirdly enough. That was an interesting rabbit hole to fall down.
Yeah. Jimbo Jangles in chat says he buffed his teammates. Yeah, he had a cool AoE buff. Yeah.
Like, when a baseball pitcher is talking to chemists and stuff, it's just kind of scary.
Right.
Because I was thinking, okay, so you're talking about this foreign substance that you're going to be using in baseball that's better than steroids. Like, what are you injecting yourself with? It's like, no, you're just rubbing Vaseline on your hands.
So they grind down an octopus's beak, and it's like, no, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's really interesting to learn about that kind of stuff. But to be honest, mostly it's just fun to hit the ball and watch it go out the park.
Yeah.
And I'm progressing in this mode. I'm going to get my achievements, and then I'm going to do a little tidy up. And then I'll probably will boot back in for a little Road to the Show or Diamond Exchange at some point. I keep forgetting. Look, I'm tired and my brain doesn't work. Give me a rest. But it's fun, and the actual March to October presentation is genuinely great because it looks like you get different custom intros depending on the type of team you pick.
Oh, cool.
Like all-star teams versus underdogs, that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, this is kind of a really good presentation. Your UI is still garbage.
Yeah, it's bad.
But your presentation's good. You're not trying to hoover every single bit of change you can out of my wallet, which I'm appreciative of.
Yep.
You fix the bugs mostly. I still get the odd silver face dude or cap over the nose kind of guy.
Right.
But MLB The Show is a quality game. I can kind of see why the Sony fanboys used to sit on this and be like, well, you guys don't have the show.
Yeah, it makes sense why people were always like, yeah, man, the show. Like, this is a sports game. And I get it now.
Yes. Have you done any more Joe Random progress?
No, unfortunately not. Not a ton of time this week.
You need to get your crap together.
Yeah.
Nim, did you play MLB The Show yet?
Nope.
You suck.
I'm not a sports fan. If I don't want to watch it and I don't want to hear about it, I'm sure as hell not going to play it.
Sure.
Look, I played softball.
Anyway.
There you go. I don't think there's a softball mode in there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's deep in one of those menus, but
it was a beer league, so none of us were sober. But
yeah.
I played cricket, which if you want a boring game, let me tell you all about cricket.
Yeah.
However, moving on, my final game this week. It's Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
So, number one, thank you, Big Mackie. Number two, I beat this today.
Nice.
How long did it take?
It is a cool, crisp 9 hours, my first playthrough.
Good.
That's about what I was hearing, yeah.
That's exciting.
And that was me literally sniffing at every single gap I could find.
Right.
So, how can I say this as spoiler-free as possible?
Mm-hmm.
Did Kojima make this game? Did Capcom hire Kojima at some point?
Man, if only.
Because, don't get me wrong, Resident Evil 7 is insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not Kojima insane.
Yeah, that's a special breed of insane.
Yeah, it's not Child Soldiers insane. It's not...
Right.
Well, I was going to say it's not guy infested by bees insane, but in 7 there is a woman infested by bugs, so...
It's not plugging a headphone jack into the headphones into the jack that's in your chest insane.
No, it's not that. Although, there are some things that happen.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some things.
Okay, so 8 is a direct sequel to 7.
Right.
So, number 1, Boston. That's 2 games for your scary game list.
Sure is.
Just for the record. 7 followed by 8.
First
Thank
2.
you very much.
Patreon.com/U191.
Yeah. Let's hit that 250.
Yeah.
250. 250. 250. Let's get a sports chat going. This might be one of the best Resident Evil games I've ever played.
Nice.
Like 7, don't get me wrong, I love the 2 remake, I love the 3 remake. I can't put them number 1 on my list of Resident Evil games of all time because they're essentially remakes of a game which I have very sincere nostalgia for.
Sorry. Jimbo Jangles in chat says, I heard you have to plug the controller in the second port to beat the tall lady.
First, you had to find a cable to plug it into the console.
I heard you like Suikoden.
He is insane, which is why I think that this might be partially. I wonder if he's pen pals with the writers. Like, he just
maybe.
his ideas. Like, dear Hideo Kojima, this is my new game. What do you think? Dear Resident Evil 8 writers,
more ghosts.
You should add. More ghosts, more creepy dolls. Because there's nothing quite like creepy dolls.
How interested are you about, hand mutilation? Well, now we're excited.
So you know about that one.
Yeah, poor Ethan Winters, man. He's having a rough day.
Worst thing is, I'm not sure, but I think it's the opposite hand.
I think so.
Something similar happens in 7.
Yep.
Yeah, it's his right hand in 7, and then it's his left one in 8.
Yeah.
Flipped.
Yeah, if you play on the GameCube, he's right-handed. If you play on the Wii,
if you play on the Wii, it's the other side. That is such a reference. Don't say what it is.
No,
I want to know.
I'm proud of that one. I'm gonna marinate on that one here for a minute.
Cut. That one was a super deep cut.
I'm gonna sit here and take a drink. I'm gonna enjoy that one.
If you got it, tweet at the show, please, and then I want Boston to retweet everybody who gets that.
Yep.
But that, I'm not gonna lie, that chef's kiss.
Thank you.
That's a real special pull right there.
Yeah.
So, Resident Evil 8. This is a love letter to 7, 4, 5, and Hideo Kojima all at the same time.
Okay.
it might be one of the best paced actually not Resident Evil games. It might be one of the best paced games I have ever played. Period.
Wow, nice.
Like, it's hard, like, because in all of the Resident Evil games, you'll always get to that section where something's not happening. You're heading from one place to the other. It's a little bit of a drag.
Mm-hmm.
They mix everything up in this so well. Number one, minor spoiler alert. I'm going to try and avoid big spoilers if I can. But minor spoiler alert, lichens are now a thing, just so you know.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like, so we've done zombies, let's do werewolves, and oh, by the way, potentially vampires too.
Great. Just get the
Sure.
whole underworld plot right in here. That would be Resident Evil 9.
I will give Capcom credit for being ahead of the game here, because 7, they moved it away from a virus and into something different.
Mm-hmm.
Because you couldn't really release a Resident Evil game about a global pandemic in 2021 about a
Right.
virus.
Right. It's in poor taste.
This is the
What
Rainbow
happened?
Six Siege problem,
Exactly.
where they are trying to make a new Siege game, except it's called Outbreak, which is a problem now.
Yeah.
Name still in development, apparently.
Yeah.
But, like, it starts as the love letter to 4, and it moves on, and it goes through creepy big buildings with combat and puzzles. Then it does no combat, purely puzzles.
Oh, interesting.
Then it does more puzzles than combat, and then it goes pure combat. Like,
Wow.
it changes the way you play as you play it, and depending on what area you're in. Like, it's still goofy as sin in
Yes.
so many areas, in the best ways that Resident Evil is. I mean, Resident Evil is responsible for Jill Sandwich, so
Yes.
come on.
Yeah.
Like,
And the
this
master
is the
of
series we're
lockpicking.
talking.
Yep.
Yes, this is the series that we're talking about. Like, so it still has some hilariously bad lines. I'm 100,000% sure that Ethan Winters is a himbo,
Probably. Yep.
because he is well-meaning, polite, respectful. Now is military trained for reasons which I won't go into.
And dumb as a sack of rocks.
Dude, he's dumb as a bag of flour, and there is bags of flour in the game that are smarter than him.
Tofu is working with more brain cells here.
Yeah, because at least Tofu wasn't stupid. Like,
Tofu's got a knife. He's ready.
Yeah, I heard them talk about this on the Bombcast, and I think Gersman was laughing because of the core. Like, about a third into the game, you get given a core mission for the rest of the game,
Okay.
and it's stupid. It's dumb. And
Okay.
Ethan is just like, okay, cool, I'll go do that.
Mm-hmm. I'll go do this dumb thing. No problem, boss.
Huh? I honestly don't know how to describe this game.
Just this like unquestioning dummy where it's like, oh, werewolves. Okay, cool. I've read about those. Anyways.
And one of the guys is basically Magneto, which is
Okay, sure. Why not?
sure, why not? We know about Tall Lady.
Yep.
This creepy doll family, which is
Yep.
And yeah, we had Igor fella, who the less said about him, the best, to be
Yep.
honest. I don't know. I love this game. I genuinely adore this game so
Mhm.
much. Like, I'm a huge proponent of 7. I think 7 was the revitalization of that series needed.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that they didn't immediately do this, but instead they went, okay, 7, 2, 3, then this. Give them time to actually develop it. The Reach for the Moon engine continues to astound. Don't laugh.
I forgot about that.
Name of the engine. Don't laugh.
Boy.
It continues to be probably my favorite engine that is currently out there. Like, UE4 is something special, but the engine is...
It's so real good.
Like, really want to spoil something, but I can't because it will just ruin one of the great moments of the game.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure not Nolan North. Troy Baker is one of the bad guys. I haven't checked on this, but I'm pretty sure he is because he sounds like, again, he's doing the bad guy from Medium and the bad guy from, funnily enough, Hideo Kojima's game with the packages.
Death Stranding.
Yes, whoever he was in that. If it's not him, then it's someone who's doing an impression of him being that guy from Death Stranding.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I love this game. Like, I genuinely do. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's got crafting mechanics. All of the achievements are named after dad things. So it's like, okay, like the 4 difficulty related achievements are like, okay, good dad, world's best dad, and universe's best dad.
That's great.
There's I think there's Dumbo Dad, which is when you don't craft anything throughout the entirety of the game, which is going to be hard because
That's really good.
crafting equals ammo, so that's fun. But it does my favorite thing of the Resident Evil 7 started, which is, hey, you got an achievement. Congratulations on your New Game Plus playthrough. You have now unlocked this knife that is really powerful and doesn't break. Oh, you got this other achievement. Congratulations. Here is a pistol that you have unlocked to play through on your next playthrough of the game.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
That's my favorite stuff. Oh, by the way, it has Mercenaries mode as well, just in case you were wondering.
Oh, wow.
Why? I don't know. It's
Why not?
Yeah. My favorite Mercenaries mode will always be 5. And that's only because you go in as Chris, you shoot someone in the knee, and then you suplex them into somebody else. That's
Perfect.
all I want to do in Mercenaries mode.
Yep.
Can't do it here because it's a first-person mercenary mode, but that's fine. Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. The shop guy says, "What are you buying?" Of course Perfect. He does. Like,
it checks all the boxes.
It does. There is literally nothing I can really say without spoiling some things. It does tickle me though, because they directly link it to other Resident Evil games in a way that I can't mention because it's a nod and a spoiler. But it's like, sure, why not? Whatever. Chris is in the game too, and Chris continues to be the dour, super serious military man who he's always been. Mm-hmm. Now I'm hoping that we get old man Leon S. Kennedy in Resident Evil 9.
Yeah.
Because the game ends with a time jump of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge one, but a little one. And I'm hoping we get rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy at like 50.
Yeah.
Helping the protagonist of that.
I was going to ask, where are they at in the timeline now? Because everyone at this point in time has to be old.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Because I think these take place between 3s and 4s and 5s, like in parallel kind of thing.
Oh, sure.
Like after 1, when Chris was off doing his military thing, trying to deal with all the problems in the world, I think one of those problems was these situations. It's hard to say because he's not old. He's not very old. He's older than he is in obviously 1. So who knows? This is probably I'd guess this is probably before or after the nuking of Raccoon City.
Well, it's got to be after 5, because doesn't somebody make mention about Chris being a boulder puncher or something like that?
Yeah. He literally calls Chris a boulder punching idiot.
Dude, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's real good. Thank you, Resident Evil.
There are so many little nods like that, and it's just... Was it in Hideo, by the way, the voice actor?
No, it doesn't look like it's him.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you liked 7, play 8.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. I can't talk about it without literally spoiling so much.
It's too early, unfortunately. That's the bummer of it.
Oh, yeah. Neil Newborn is the guy who plays the guy I was thinking of. He's doing an impression of that other guy.
Troy Baker.
Yes, he's doing an impression of Troy Baker in his Death Stranding role, specifically.
Nice.
It's good. It's great.
Go
You
play
should
it.
go play it. It's so dumb in so many ways, and I absolutely adore it. Nimp, what have you been playing?
I've been playing hide and seek. The end. No, I'm kidding.
What's our episode
in,
this
Gen-
week?
in Genshin Impact, they had an event this past week called Wind Trace. And my son and I have been playing this event a lot, and it's literally a hide and seek game. You basically go to a table in the Mondstadt city, and on this table is basically these paper mache cats wearing masks that are hiding behind like bushes and barrels and stuff.
Great.
And you select that you want to play the game. And what it does is it'll send you to areas on the map automatically, but it's a smaller, like you don't have full run of the map. That would just be impossible.
Yeah.
They basically ring off a section of the map, and that's the area that you play in. You have to play it with random people if you want to get, the coins to get the items and stuff like that. Or you can play it co-op and not earn the coins and stuff. But doing it with randoms, it basically breaks down to where it's 4 people that go in. One of them or 3 of them are rebels, one of them's a hunter. So the rebels have to go hide while the hunter looks for them.
Okay.
This game's not really set up for just hiding behind a bush or in a bush.
It's not Assassin's Creed.
No. So what they have done is that all of your abilities and all of your like fighting abilities and stuff have been changed over to like this new skill set for this event. So you go into this area and you click a button and your character turns into like a crate or a lamp or a hay bale.
That's fun.
And throughout this area, they've redone where items are placed. If you happen to have a photographic memory and you're like, oh, there's never been a barrel here, this is obviously a player, they've thrown extra stuff in these areas during these events. So nothing looks exactly the same.
Right.
So you do have random barrels that are kind of just there in the middle of a walkway that doesn't make sense, but that was really something that was put there. So the whole point is to obviously blend in with your surroundings, and then the hunter will come out and they will look for you. The hunter has an ability where every 30 seconds they can click on this thing and it pops up like this little search wind thing where it'll blow in the direction of where a player is. And then you run around, then you do this other attack where it will do an AoE around them, and if a hiding rebel is in that area, you'll catch them.
I see.
So each game's like 3 minutes long. Halfway through, something called a favor will drop down onto the map, and either side can grab it. For the rebels, it makes it so that you can run and hide faster, and it takes a little bit longer for the hunter to be able to capture you when they use their ability. For the hunter, it makes it so that it can either deactivate everybody's ability to hide, or it'll deactivate it for one of the rebels, and it will highlight them. So all of a sudden, you've got like this shiny beam of light that goes up in the sky, and you know exactly where this person is at all times until it wears off.
Oh, cool.
And they can't hide or anything from it. So that was a lot of fun. My son and I played it together and with randos a whole lot. And anytime I would get into like the Springville map, it's basically got a giant windmill in the center of it. And I would always climb to the top of that thing and just hide up there. And nobody could find me. And if someone did happen to find me, I would obviously have enough time to get away. While they're trying to climb the tower, I would just jump and glide somewhere else.
Right.
And be able to hide again. So it was a lot of fun, a lot of tension going. The first time my son and I played it together, we were in a field and he turned into a scarecrow. And
smart.
He freaked out when I ran close to him. I didn't know he was there. I was just kind of running around looking for things. So he freaked out. So all of a sudden I see a scarecrow running across the field. I'm like, all right, that's obviously you.
I think I found him.
Yeah. What I didn't know was that one of the abilities that you can choose as a rebel is that you can also turn invisible for a couple seconds. So he popped that and I completely lost him. Didn't know where he was at.
Oh, wow.
And then like a couple minutes later, I just see a tree moving in the foreground. I was like, found you.
That's great.
So it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun playing that now. And we now have the banners now for our name cards where it has like the one hunter cat looking for all these little rebel cats that have these masks that are like hiding behind bushes and stuff like that.
That's
so
fun.
It's a fun little thing that we got. But after enjoying all of that, the next game, demo that I checked out was the Scarlet Nexus demo on the Xbox. Currently, you can only get it. Yeah, currently you can only get it on the Xbox, and eventually it'll come out to PlayStation. And I don't know if it's coming to PC or not. I assume it is at some point. It's Bandai Namco, so
I'll look it up.
So I didn't know what this game was going to be. No one did, because Bandai Namco was being very tight-lipped for some reason about it. So no one knew if it was going to be a Souls game, if it was just going to be an RPG. Watching the trailers, it looked like it could have been either one, no problem.
It's coming to Steam on June 24th.
Okay, yeah, I think that's when everything else releases too.
Yeah.
This game is a JRPG. It is not a Souls game.
Oh, okay.
It is in the vein of an action JRPG, like Final Fantasy VII, like whatever action RPG you can think of here. It looks like a cross between Code Vein and Astral Chain. And it plays a lot like Astral Chain. It's pretty awesome. The demo lets you pick from two characters. What is it? Yuito and Kasane. Yuito is supposed to be a sword wielder. He's like a close range, and he has a psychokinetic power. Kasane, they call her a long-range character, but she has daggers that she controls with her powers, and she's more of a medium than a long-range, who also has psychokinetic powers. What that means is that while you were fighting, you can hold down the right trigger, and they will back up from an enemy, and they will pick up something from the environment, and they will use that as a weapon, and they'll like throw it at them, which is kind of cool when you pick up like an ice cream truck behind an enemy and you hit them as you're bringing it towards you, and then you hit them again when you throw it at them.
Oh, nice.
So it's pretty sweet. A lot of jumping around, a lot of running around. The combat between the two, it does feel different. It just seems like the only thing they share is they just have the same psychokinetic ability between the two characters. So I guess it just depends on if you want a sword user or some person that can like psychokinetically use their daggers, whatever you want to do with that. The enemies, they have a health bar, and they have what looks like an armor bar. You do not have to knock the armor bar off of them. You're still doing like straight damage to their HP, but if you happen to like hit a weakness on them, their armor bar, or like this yellow bar, will go down faster, and then you can do like this like one hit kill thing, like this over dramatic flourish thing that'll take them out. And you can do that in all kinds of different ways, where it's like either using your abilities to throw an ice cream truck at them, or if this enemy happens to be weak to like a lightning and you're using a lightning ability, it'll bring that down faster, and then you can do this attack and you're good to go. For running around, you are controlling your character, and you have two other people with you. I don't know if you can control them. I couldn't figure out a way to do it, and this is a demo, so I don't know if there'll be anything added to it or not, but I couldn't see a way to like switch between the three characters that are on the screen. It looks like you're just controlling your one character, but you borrow abilities from your team that are with you.
Oh, okay. I was just about to ask you if you could like issue them commands like in Mass Effect or something, but
yeah, I don't know if you can issue them commands per se,
but taking their abilities sounds even better.
Yeah, Boston has a video playing right now. If you look at the bottom right of that video, sorry viewers, you're left out. Those are the abilities that you're borrowing from your team.
Yeah, there's like four icons down there that are very clearly like, here are 4 abilities.
Yeah, so you hold down RB, you hit, and it's tied to the face buttons, so you hit whatever one you want to use, and then you use it. You also have the thing that looks like an audio, I don't even know what you would want to call that anymore, but like an audio wave that's in block form. What do they call it? Like the equalizer bar or whatever. I don't remember what it was called, but That's basically your MP, how many times you can use your psychokinetic to be able to lift things and do whatever.
Right.
That refills as you're doing your attacks and stuff like that, and obviously it goes away as you use your abilities. Later on through the demo, you're given the ability where you can start using the left trigger, and this is like a bigger thing where you're pulling like telephone poles out of the ground.
Yeah, earlier in this video, they like ripped a telephone pole, smacked it with an enemy, and then it was like a short one-button QTE where you just smack them the other way and do a ton of damage.
They do have like quick QTE, does a ton of damage, and if you have a couple enemies together, it's an area of attack. So if there's enemies close enough, you can hit more than one thing, and it does like a ton of damage with it. Digging around into the menus, there's like a ton of stuff you can mess with. Between cosmetics that you're randomly fighting, items are just randomly placed throughout the world. You're kind of on it's basically like a hallway. You've got like some areas that you can kind of explore, but it's not an open map for the demo. It's basically you run to this thing, this gets you to your objective. Oh, look, there's this tiny little path that goes off this way. Let's go check that out, kind of thing.
It has a treasure chest in there. All right, moving on.
Hey, look, there's this floating green thing, or whatever. That must be important.
Right.
So there's cosmetics, weapons, and armor that you can find. The cosmetics, I actually found quite a few of them in the demo for both characters. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Armors, they call plugins in this game. You could only equip one in the demo, but they have 3 slots right there that it looks like you will eventually unlock. And that looks like it changes your stat parameters for different things. I only found a couple things where it was like, oh, it decreases your attack, but it increases your defense, or whatever.
Right.
Excuse me. So and then you've got your item, the green for like healing and stuff like that, the random green items you can find throughout the world. It'll go into your inventory. You have a quick inventory bar on your bottom left, just like you would in a Souls game, which is why some people thought this may be a Souls game.
Right.
But you can switch between, I think you can hold like 4 of them, and you can use them for like healing or buffing or whatever item you have equipped for the battle item thing.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty standard action JRPG. This looks cool.
And it looks a lot, like I said, like Astro Chain in a weird way, which was kind of why I was also interested in it. And the thing that this video didn't show you is that when you first start out, they show your characters staring off into the map, or into the world, and it's got this weird, I can't remember the name of the movie, but basically like you're in the city. Oh, it's showing it right now. You're in the city, and guess what? City's up in the sky too, and it looks like it's kind of curving in on itself.
Right.
No, was it Inception?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that.
Yeah,
so it's like, all right, what's going on with this thing? The way they do the story, it's usually stills, but they'll have like little windows where the characters will move around and talk to each other and stuff like that. So just standard. There's nothing special going on there.
Yeah.
Music, though, I don't know if this is different because of the 2 characters that you pick. You get put into 2 different areas. So I don't know if the music is just changed because, one character was in this area, so this is the music for that, while the other one is here. But the male character, Yuito, that I picked for the first time, he had like dubstep and heavy metal music playing. Kasani had like jazz music and that's what I called like upbeat elevator music.
Right.
So it still sounded really good, but I won't get into the demo, like what you're actually doing in there, too much. That way, if anyone wants to play it, they can check it out and see it. But it was really fun. It looked like
cool.
it looked really enjoyable.
Visually, it looks super clean too. Like that's been the thing I've been really interested in. Is like if you can make like a 4K Japanese like anime action game, what would that look like? And this looks real good.
You'll see more if you play the demo. There's some weird anime things that'll come up later, that I'll get into. But
Dynasty Warriors guys start making next gen only games.
Oh yeah,
is this only next gen?
No, you can get it on current or previous gen and current gen.
Okay.
So, what was I gonna say? I already talked about music. When you're playing the demo. When you switch from you play the one character and you can go back and then you can play as the other character. And if you do get the game, the save progress for this it won't go into that, but it'll notice that you have saves from this, and depending on how much of the demo you completed, it's supposed to give you items or whatever.
Oh, cool. I like when they do
that. Yeah, I figured I would just check out the other character because I wanted to see how much they handled, if there was really a whole lot of difference. And there is some difference. But the thing is that the teams, the opening for what everyone says is exactly the same. Like, literally copied and pasted. This team said this with this group of people. You start this one, and they literally say the exact same thing.
Oh,
for
interesting.
Each of those characters. So that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Which made me wonder too, if since you can pick two different characters, are they going to have two different stories, or is it just it's the same story, but here's a little bit of flavoring for this one, or here's a little bit of flavoring for that one? Because both characters have completely different backgrounds that you can choose from, and once you beat the demo, you get a music video from, I think it's called like Ordinary Cigarettes or something like that. It's a Japanese metal band that does the main song for this. You get basically their music video for this after you beat the demo the first time. The second time, you get the music again, but it's like an all-out standard affair, like anime intro.
Oh,
and
great.
It shows both the characters that you could choose fighting each other in it.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like, all right, so are they, like, will they ever meet each other in the game? Well, if I choose one, will the other one exist in the game kind of thing? Or are they enemies, or what's going on? They're supposed to be part of the same thing. But yeah, a lot of weird anime tropish stuff going on.
Yeah, that looks cool. I'm gonna have to try that demo out.
Yeah, and they've got, for leveling up, obviously you kill things, you get experience, you level up. It looks like when you level up, you get BP. I don't know if they're calling it battle points or brave points or brain points. Who knows?
Right.
But you get basically your points to allocate to skills, and it's, at least in the demo, it's set up like a mini sphere grid where it's like, okay, you choose this thing, and this will allow you to branch off into, hey, you can pick these two other things. And they've got it further separated where it's like, if you go through this path will do like straight stats, where it's like your attack will be increased by 4 or whatever, your defense, health, whatever. Or if you go through this path, this will improve your psychokinesis so that you can pick up bigger things or do more with it and all that. So that seemed interesting. I don't know how deep they'll go with that. The other cool thing with the being able to borrow abilities from your teammates is that it also goes into the exploration of the game, where there's one point where there's a fence, like just a chain link fence, and there's no way around it, but you don't have to go that way. It's just kind of like, oh, this is the off the beaten path area, and what you can do is one character has the ability where they can teleport. So you activate their skill, you do a dash into the chain link fence, and you just kind of teleport to the other side of it. Now you have access to this area.
Right.
There's, with Kasani, her team, she had an acceleration ability that she was using. And one of the enemies that you were fighting against is super fast, and you can't hit them unless you hit accelerate, which is basically haste.
I see.
And that slows everything down while keeping your character going at the normal pace. So then you can you can reach and hit that thing that was going too fast for you.
Right.
So they got a lot of cool things going on here.
Yeah. I just looked up the demos coming out on PS4 and PS5 this week on May 28th.
Okay.
So you don't have to wait too much longer.
I was like, 'cause I thought they only had like a week or two lead, but I wasn't positive. I didn't look it up. That's my bad. Well, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to getting it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that demo. That sounds cool.
Just picking up a telephone pole and beating up some weird thing. Oh, yeah, and they call the enemies others.
Right.
And anything that has killed... I forget what the agency is that they're with, but anything that has killed like one of those agency members is called a major other.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't really have any expectations for it because, like I said, I didn't know what it was. I just saw trailers and I wanted to play the demo to figure out, is this going to be a Souls game or is this just a JRPG? So
yeah.
If you're hoping for a Souls game, just hold out a little bit longer. Hopefully Code Jade 2 will be coming out shortly.
Yeah, there you go.
My final game for this week is No Man's Sky.
Me too.
Because Boston posted something in the forums, and I'm
Is
like,
this
well,
So the brand new,
Yeah.
this is a really weird way they went about this. So this new season, season 1 or whatever they called it, finished, and immediately they're like, "Here's the next season. It's 2 weeks," and we're just like, "Whoa, wait, what?" And the first 4 phases of how they set it up is like there's 5 phases, and each phase has like a couple of easy things to do. This one is super easy because it's so short. The 5th phase was hidden. And they were like, well, I guess you got to decode it, wink. And I was like, okay, I guess. I couldn't play for the first couple of days because LOL crash bugs, No Man's Sky. And then they just like a couple of days ago, they're like, oh yeah, here's the reward for the 5th one. It's the Normandy SR1 from Mass Effect. And I was just like, pardon?
Yeah.
The what now? And you can get the Normandy SR1 as a fleet vehicle for your fleet sent out on missions by just
an S-Class.
it is an S-Class, so it's good at
Yes.
everything, and it looks super cool. About halfway done with the season now after like 2 hours. It's very easy.
So I came home from work Friday, and I played it for a very long time.
Yeah.
It took me 11 hours to do
Okay.
everything in this. And that is only because halfway through this, I accidentally realized that, oh wait, we have portals. And oh wait, the No Man's Sky community is really awesome.
Yes, they are.
So I got stuck on, I think it was the 3rd phase. Yeah.
Right.
3rd or 2nd phase, either way. I got stuck on a phase where I had to find a crashed freighter on a planet.
Oh my god, I just did that one.
Yep.
That was
So
not the
this
hard
is-
one for me. The hard one for me was go help someone who's stranded. That doesn't exist.
No,
I did do a Nexus mission to do it.
Didn't have any issues with that one. So all of these events that we are talking about are random events that you will randomly come across in this randomly generated universe.
Yeah, there are ways you can sort of. There are things you can pick up at the cartographer that says, I want to
Yep.
look for
Distress signals.
distress signals or like dangerous places or artifacts from the past. So you can scoop up a whole bunch of distress signals ones, but that's still like narrowing the focus. It might say like here's an abandoned building. Here's a ship that crashed. Here's another abandoned building. Hey, here's another ship that crashed. It's like, thank
here's
you.
an ancient building.
I need the only other one. Just the one you haven't given me.
So that was me. I burned through 36 of those navigation things for
Yeah.
distress signals. I did not find a single freighter.
And the hilarious thing about the freighter is you just have to land there, talk to the little orb, and it's like, yeah, you did it. It's like,
Yeah.
thanks. Great.
You don't even have to explore it.
No.
So I had come across it by accident, or I went to go to Portal somewhere else that I had just been to. And then I realized that, oh, wait, this is showing like community portals. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
the community has gone through and labeled all of these.
Right.
So I'm like, I wonder if there's one for a freighter. Scroll, 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 scroll. Need a freighter? Here's a portal. Sweet. Click. There we go.
Gimme. the No Man's Sky community is so good.
Yeah. The next hard, and the best thing is with this is that you don't have to complete the previous phase before you start the next phase. You can you can do them all in order. So this freighter thing was holding me up from getting Rendezvous. I think it was in phase 2. It was preventing me from getting Rendezvous 3,
Right.
which I had already completed everything for. So then all I had to do was get Rendezvous 3, so then I could get Rendezvous 4, which
Right.
I already completed all of that, except for, I think that was the one where you had to discover 10 systems, like
Yeah. I haven't started doing
uncharted
that yet.
systems. Yep. Which I found a thing out for that I was messing with. So as soon as I found this portal, got the freighters, like, cool, I got my Rendezvous thing, get my rewards, go to Rendezvous point 3, knocked all that out,
Right.
moved on to 4, knocked out all of that except for the discovering the systems.
Right.
What I found out about the discovering the systems is that the map in this game still sucks, the galactic map.
For sure.
But what I figured it out, and the other thing is too, trying to Google some of this stuff, all the information is still from like 2008. Occasionally you'll get one from like 2020.
Yeah, or
maybe
like
this
just
year if you're lucky.
2 patches ago, where it's like you're close, but like it's a little different now.
It doesn't apply anymore. What I had found, and this is after hours of jumping around on my frigate, like several hundreds of thousands of light years to get away from people, because everyone starts for the expeditions on the same planet.
Yeah.
And then you move on from there. So for you to find an undiscovered system, you have to get away from everybody.
You got to go way out of there.
Yeah. So this involved me jumping through 2 black holes and just pointing in a direction and going.
Yep.
And still not finding anything. And then I finally found one, and what I had found out is if you look at the galactic map, if a star is there and it doesn't have a white ring around the star, it's undiscovered. If it does have a white ring around that star, it's discovered.
Wow. Never knew that.
So once I figured that out, I jumped into another system, found my second undiscovered system after like 2 hours of jumping around randomly.
Right.
And then I looked at the chart and realized, oh, hey, there's like 9 more of these things around this. So I just jumped in my ship and just jumped to each one of those and finally got it.
Oh, that's great. So, that's a good tip.
It is, because God, was that infuriating, because it was literally the thing I needed to be able to get into Phase 5, which Phase 5 is still encrypted. So then I go to Rendezvous 5, do that, and then it basically decrypts the first challenge that you have to do, and then so on until you do them all.
Yeah.
Everything in Phase 5 isn't difficult.
And to be fair, like Nip and I are talking about things that we are running into some frustrations with, but like all of Phase 3 is like land on a scorched planet, find one alien on a toxic planet, land on an ice planet. So like that's like 5 of those, bang them out, do this, you're done. Like it's all super easy stuff.
Learn 10 words from each alien language.
Right.
Basically, you jump to a system that has that alien species in it, stop at the space station. There's like 9 words
Talk
right
to
there.
everyone. Yeah. One of them is like, go to the Atlas station. Cool. That's super easy. That's done.
It always summons an Atlas station within one or 2 jumps where you're currently at.
Yeah. So the vast majority of it is really, really easy. Yeah,
right. I think today there's still 7 days left on this expedition.
I believe so. Yeah.
My son is starting this up. Yeah, my son is starting this up right now, and I told him, hey, when you start needing things like be on a scorched planet or be on an icy planet, look at the portals, because everyone has this stuff labeled. Where it was like I needed storm crystals, I couldn't find them. I found 10 portal spots where it was like storm crystals, oxygen, and copper, mining, and I'm like, sweet, let's go.
The community is so great because like all of us have to do the same thing. So normally in a bad community, it'd be like, well, I found a great spot for that, I'm not telling you. And the No Man's Sky community is like, it is exactly this point. Here's the glyphs for the portal if you can't do the thing. Here's the coordinates. Go crazy.
Yeah.
It's great.
They've even got specific portals that say rendezvous point 2, rendezvous point 3. So it's like if you can't jump to that system, here's the portal that's like a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Don't have fuel, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only came across 2 bugs.
Okay.
And they were not game breaking. So this is like
thank goodness.
Brand new for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
My rendezvous point 4 was in the middle of a mountain.
Okay. I've been running into that a lot in this playthrough.
Yeah. Luckily for these points, that's completely fine. You just have to land close somewhere.
Yeah, within like 100 meters of it or something.
Yeah, and then you just pop on your tracker, because that point isn't where you need to actually be. That point is just a start point for, hey, there's this thing you have to actually go to.
Right.
You pull out your tracker tells you, hey, you have to go 1,000 AU in this direction.
Yeah,
and you just start
1,200.
walking.
Yeah.
Or if you do the thing that I started doing because of the community, when they find the point that you have to be at, actually, they will all put up communication hubs everywhere.
Yeah, they put all these like message robots.
Yeah, and those show up as you're flying around as these little bubble, like speech bubble things. So if you're flying in and your rendezvous point is like to the right of you as you're looking down the nose of your ship, and you see like a whole bunch of speech bubbles to the left of you, go to the speech bubbles. Screw the rendezvous point.
Yep. Yeah, it's really great.
The other bug that I had was I needed to find 3 ancient ruins for the phase 5, and one guy, I found a bunch of them through the portals, and the last one that I needed, I portaled to it, and my ship and I are several hundred miles up in the air above this planet.
Right.
And I start to fall.
Oh, gotcha.
Luckily,
your ship and you without you in the ship.
No. Just me, I realized. Because I thought my ship was too, but no, my ship is staying there.
No, so there's going to be a new crater on that planet.
Yeah, so I jetpack on top of the ship, and the ship's not moving. I'm like, all right, cool. I can get into my ship, and I can take off from air. It took away thruster material for me to lift off into the air that I'm already in.
Procedural generation.
Yeah. So that was an interesting freak out that I had, because it even took a second for my character, because it spawned my character above my ship, and so I started falling, and it was like a mountainous region. So I was like, okay, it just spawned me too high, and I'm dropping down to ground level. Until I looked at how far down ground level was, I'm like, oh, I am so screwed. No. But it worked out. But those were the only 2 bugs that I had, and I will say that when you do summon the Normandy, you have your headphones on, because you get like rising music.
Yeah.
It shows up. It's pretty badass.
Awesome.
So,
I'm excited.
It was worth it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think I'm actually going to keep this save profile after the expedition, because you get a ship that's pretty sweet in this one. It's not like the best, but I've got better in my main game, but I really like using this one now.
Yeah. And
I have so many upgrades on everything now, because this game just barfs out upgrades because it's only 2 weeks long.
Yeah, the fun part is, like, every time you finish a milestone early on, they're like, all right, here's 1,000 nanites, and here is 3 S rank upgrades for your for one specific thing. So it's like, okay, cool. I got 3 scanner upgrades. Now I'm making about $1 million every time I look at a plant. And
it's like, oh, hey, you just scanned that rock. Here's 3 inventory slot augmentations for whatever.
It's great.
And that was the other thing with your multi-tool that you got. Was yours like basically a crystal that was wrapped in like leather or something like that?
No, but that sounds incredible.
That's what mine looks like, and it looks dope as hell.
Man, that's cool.
So yeah, 11 hours.
Yeah.
Probably could have been shorter if I thought about portals, but
this season came at like the right time for me, because I'm sort of like, well, I don't really know what I want to play, and there's a new season of No Man's Sky, and it's like, all right, you got me again. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's get in here.
So yes, that is all I've been playing this week. Boston?
All right, you guys took the 2 big things that I've been playing, so let's talk about Fortnite. Playing a little bit more Fortnite. I just unlocked DC Comics Raven, which is surprising.
Hold on, rewind. You said DC Comics Raven, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, not That's So Raven or Raven from ECW.
That's correct.
I know that's where you were going with that.
Yeah. Still, this season is great. I only play like once every couple weeks, so I have all this great stuff to do. And I think I'm like season pass rank 80 or something, so I'm getting pretty close to. I like the skin that they have for rank 100. It's like one of the enemies in the game. You can dress up as her. It looks really cool. So Fortnite continues to be great. And lastly, Returnal. I'm mostly blowing through these because we're at very long right now. And I played a little bit more Returnal, and I think I'm done with it. I still enjoy it, and I still enjoy playing it, and I could probably go for the secret ending stuff. But I think I'm kind of satisfied with what I played. I feel like I'm at a kind of a good point. And if I keep going, I feel like I'm at the point where either I will really love it and the secret ending will pay off, or I will just come to resent it at this point. So I would rather just kind of be done with it and wait for some patches and some additional content that they're looking to put in, and kind of enjoy my memories of it right now. Because like everything I keep unlocking in the game isn't great. They're like some consumable items where it's like Binding of Isaac, where you're like, I did this hard challenge, and then it's like, you unlocked a baby, and it's like, go to hell. You just wasted so much. Come on.
Here's a marshmallow.
Yeah, it's just like, no, you wasted my time, please. So Returnal is still really great. I still really recommend it. It sounds like they're working on the save and quit stuff now. So like, if that's an understandable deal breaker for you, you might want to kind of continue to give it some time before they finish it. It's still $70 American dollars. In some regions, it's $130. So waiting will get that price down, I'm hoping. But Returnal's great. And I think if it's anything that it seems like it's interesting for you, I would really recommend it. It's great. On that note, let's take a break.
Yep.
Because I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Drink way too much water today.
Ditto. I'm gonna wait because I think we don't have that much to talk about here at the final segment.
We don't.
Yeah. I purposely didn't do news stories so we could talk about this email.
A letter. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let me see. Someone just sent me a direct message on Twitter.
Is it fuck you, Boston, I hate you? Because that might be me.
No, that's my Destiny Emblem Collector account. Usually like, you stupid moron, you were wrong about this. It's like, yeah, cool. That's fine. No big deal. I'm not wrong also, but thanks for your feedback. Appreciate you just yelling at a random actual person here on the internet. Hey, Binary
That's
Viking,
what
how are
the
you?
internet was designed for.
That's true.
Surely you know that by now.
Yep. Not saving the combined knowledge of the world, just yelling at people you don't like on Twitter.
Yeah. It was used for saving the combined knowledge of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did that, and then the world went to shit.
Yep. Good times. Oh man. Yeah, I'm just like starting to get feral about the idea of my new TV getting delivered. So excited. So excited.
Dude, I'm so fucking pumped about fucking getting a couch. Because
yeah.
Like, I cannot fucking wait. Because I don't even care. It's just going to be a cheap, shitty couch. It's not going to be anything fucking special.
No, yeah.
Like, but it's like, I'm just going to be able to, like, I'll fall asleep in front of the fucking TV on, like, Friday and Saturday. I'll suddenly fucking turn into T-Bomb and just start being like...
You and Louise are hanging out watching some Arrowverse.
Yep.
Man, this is a dream. I'm excited to just play stuff in HDR.
Yeah.
Jimbo, I got the LG C10.
So go ahead and eat without me then. Alright, go ahead.
I was looking up calibration guides for it, and it's like, oh yeah, how do I set this thing up? And the recommendations are turn everything on auto, turn your console on auto, it will figure it out. And it's like one silent tear rolled down my cheek where it's like, finally, yes. Automatic. It works. Oh, hey, it's a cat.
I was gonna say something. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. But hey, Boston, are you wearing shorts as well today?
I'm not wearing shorts today, no.
Fucking asshole.
Why?
2 dead shorts.
No, I didn't know. I didn't get the memo. I don't have shorts. We're not at the... Put me down, you dick!
Well, no, she's freaking out because the last time she jumped up here, I have the glass desktop.
Right.
And the last time she jumped out here, she freaked the fuck out thinking that she jumped up onto air. And so I was trying to put her back on there, forgetting about that, and she was freaking out.
My peanut brain, no! Oh, man. All right, are you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
I am.
Yep.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. let's talk releases for the week of, well, actually, we'll start with May 17th, 2021, since we missed last week. Days Gone comes out on the PC. Appears that runs really well on PC. That I need to play that. I think I'll like that game. The game seems cool. Also features Starkiller as the main character in yet another game. Manifold Garden comes out on the PS5. That's another game I need to check out. Knockout City came out PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X. If you haven't seen this, this is EA's dodgeball game.
Dodgeball simulator?
Yeah.
Yes, my son started playing this and really enjoys it.
Yeah, from everyone that is playing it, they keep saying, like, I'm going to start Knockout City, LOL, and then about an hour later, they're like, oh no, it's really good. So I guess I'll be trying out Knockout City.
Was this a free game, or was it...
I think it's free, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a free weekend thing or something. I didn't look into it. It's just my son was playing it, and I was hearing dodgeballs hitting walls, which they really captured the dodgeball hitting something really well.
They were like empty doink noise.
Yeah.
$20.
Oh, that's still not bad.
It's free for the first 10 days after launch.
So I gotta get that. I gotta get on that. To probably have like a day left. Cool. I'll check that out. Miitopia comes out on Switch. This is a remaster of the DS game that came out way back when. So you sort of already know if you're interested in that. And Rust came out on PS4 and Xbox One, which I thought was already out, but maybe it's a new... I can never keep track of what Rust actually is, so...
This is the first launch Rust has had on any platform other than PC. You might be thinking of the stupid dinosaur game. Arc. You might be thinking of...
I'm never thinking of
it. You might be thinking of...
Oh, was it because of the fact that you could have full nudity in Rust? Wasn't that the game that had...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was, yes.
Yeah. I wonder if they still have that for the console, because that would technically... Well, I don't know. We see full nudity in games now anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, coming out this week, Biomutant comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. This is a game that I have not heard of until literally yesterday, and everyone's like, "You haven't heard of Biomutant? It's incredible."
I got a text message from T about this on Friday. Right. About the whole... So they posted about having issues on PlayStation 5, so it's only going to be 1080 for a little bit, and somebody immediately responded with, "Glad to see Microsoft wrote you a check," which, lol.
Thanks, Twitter.
But I was like, I don't even know what that is, dude.
Right. I watched some trailers and I'm like, okay, this looks cool as hell.
Yeah, I watched someone play it. It looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Biomutant seems like it's right up my alley, and I have literally never heard of it. Okay. Cool. Yep. So Biomutant comes out this week. Go watch some trailers. It looks cool. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remastered comes out on PC, PS4, and Switch. This game is cool. This game is cool as hell. It's also pretty difficult. So keep in mind they added difficulty options that you can change in the game while you're playing the game this time. So do not hesitate to turn that difficulty down if you're running into, let's say, a Matador, for example. Just throwing it out there.
Or a hidden side boss.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah. Nocturne is really good. It is unfortunately locked to 30 frames on all platforms. People are pretty disappointed about that, but remember that a lot of games of that era tied game mechanics to frame rate, so there's probably not a lot you can do there. So, understandable. Everybody's favorite shark game, Maneater, comes out on the Switch.
If you have not played Maneater, give it a shot. It's one of the most underrated games from last year, the year before.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, last year.
It also just got a PS5 and Series X upgrade with 4K 60 frames HDR. So, hop back in. The water's fine. Capcom Arcade Stadium comes out on Xbox One, PC, and PS4. This has been out on Switch for a while. It's kind of like Game Room for Capcom games. It's a cool thing. I don't have a lot of fondness for for this sort of era of Capcom stuff. So this isn't maybe necessarily my favorite one. Jimbo Jango says Main Eater's coming to Game Pass. That's right. It's coming to Game Pass this week, next couple of weeks, very soon. So if you want to check that out, coming out there. World's End Club comes out on the Switch. This is the Danganronpa team made a game on Apple Arcade that wasn't done yet. Now it's out on Switch, and I believe it's finished this time. So, yeah. Saints Row the Third Remastered gets released yet again on the PS5 and Series X. So if you have somehow avoided playing that game, it's real good. And I bet it will be still real good on the current gen platforms. And lastly, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony Anniversary Edition comes out on iOS and Android. All 3 Danganronpa games are now on iOS and Android. From what I've heard, they're really good. Those are really good versions that are pretty complete. V3 has a bunch of extra stuff in it, some new games, some new sort of unlockable stuff. So if you haven't played those, they're really good, and you play them on the go.
Here's my question.
Sure.
The Saints Row Remaster. Why didn't they just call it Saints Row the Third Remaster? Why add the ED?
Yeah, I don't know. Or at least put it in.
Would have been so perfect.
Yeah, at least put it in parentheses where it's like the third remaster. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's move on to our question here this week. We don't have any news stories because I wanted to make sure I got to Clarissa's email here that she sent us a couple weeks ago, and I am bad, and I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm sorry, Clarissa.
No, this doesn't also lie on you. This also lies on the fact that when this came in originally, I was recovering from my COVID shot.
Yes.
The week after that, we were all running a bit late, and you were recovering from your COVID shot with some very serious mid-show symptoms.
Yeah. It's been a we're all getting the shot, and it's been. I would do it again in a heartbeat, but it's been a rough month.
You have never called it the shot. What do you call it?
The Fauci ouchie.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to minimize all of the hard work of all the scientists that are doing fine mRNA work, but I like alliteration and I like rhyming. So, yes, I'm feeling better now. Just a scant 6 days after the shot, feeling back to fighting power, which for me is like 50% of everybody else's. So back to 50%, my normal here. Anywho's. We got an email here. It's a little bit of a long one, but I think it's interesting. It says, my name is Clarissa, and I'm currently incarcerated. Thank you to Clarissa's sibling here for sending us the letter our way. Recently, my state's prison system started a program issuing tablets to inmates. Though we cannot get on the web, we have certain services made available to us, including a limited number of podcasts, one of which is yours. If I may, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a transgendered woman, and because I'm not yet surgically reassigned, that means I am housed in a male facility in my state. Without getting into unpleasant details, I think you might be able to imagine my existence is one of anxiety, stress, and general unpleasantness. That being said, I very much enjoy your show, and you guys do a lot to help me relax and get me through the days and nights. I cannot express to you what a blessing that really is. I especially love listening to you guys pick your titles at the end of the show. I write down some of my own suggestions that I listen just to see if I match up with any of you. Sadly, I have access only...
I do that too.
Yes. Yeah. And if anyone is listening and you don't listen to after we say goodbye, we talk about all the potential show notes. Some people don't listen after the short 2-second break. Sadly, I have access only to a few of the recent episodes, and I've gone through them all. We did also have a program where I had access to Xbox Ones for a while, but the powers that be used COVID as an excuse to shut those down. Parenthetically, people tend to crowd to watch. So the only new games I've gotten to play since 2014 have been Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, Injustice 2, say hello to the top Harley Quinn player on the yard, and a few sports games that she says parenthetically, bleh.
Hey.
Clearly, MLB The Show.
we all knew that the World Series was called the World Series. Tell you how much we like sports games.
We're consummate experts. Still getting to listen to you guys talk about current or not so current titles is fun. Helps me remember I am still part of the world, even if I cannot touch it yet. So I have 2 questions for you. I was arrested in 2014 and will not be out until 2041. What is the biggest gaming thing that has happened or that is going to happen that you would have hated to miss in that time frame? Okay, so let's answer that first one because her next one is right after that. I think for me, probably the meteoric rise of the roguelike since 2014 has been pretty huge.
We have a show about it now.
Yeah, like we've done 2 shows, and I think 2014 especially was kind of when the Binding of Isaac launched, the remaster launched. What was that? Isaac Rebirth? And I think that and Spelunky were kind of like, ooh, roguelikes. Hello, what are these things? These interesting things. For me, I think that's been the biggest thing of now we're seeing, like before that, I think the biggest like chocolate and peanut butter thing, we were seeing a lot of first-person shooters with looting and RPG elements and stuff like that. We saw that kind of peak with Borderlands 2. And I think we're seeing, like, Returnal just came out where it's like, yeah, here's like an action third-person shooter that also is kind of a foundational roguelike. So I think for me, that's one of the big things where it's like the rise of roguelikes. So go play Hades.
Yeah, definitely go play Hades. I think for me, as much as I kind of love and hate them at the same time, it's games as a service.
Yeah.
It's don't get me wrong, there are things I absolutely despise about them, and it's the certain games do it better than others, but it's that whole you will have to play this game forever to stay on top of it.
Right.
Like
don't miss out on the FOMO.
Yeah, and it's the one that like basically in order to stay top of the game, you have to play every day for like 3 hours a day.
Yep.
Like those are the ones I hate. Whereas things like Destiny seem to get a little bit better, where it's like, yeah, like a couple of hours a week, and it's pretty solid. Like your MMOs all going free to play in that time frame, essentially, with the exception of WoW, really.
Yeah, a lot of studios and publishers have realized, like Bungie put out this big letter probably about a year ago saying like, look, we've relied on FOMO for too long and you guys hate it, understandably, so like we're gonna do away with that. Like there should be the lowest barrier to entry for this stuff that you possibly can.
Like, and I think other than that, like, yeah, games as a service is the one for me, because it's like there are some sides of it I adore. Like I adore that No Man's Sky is like however many 67 years old at this point. And,
yeah, right.
And like every time that guy puts out an update, and he's got the new cover screen on his like Twitter photo of all of the squares, it's like a game that I was infinitely excited for, and then instantly disappointed with.
Yeah.
And then I got the chance to go back and experience it, arguably at its best.
Yep.
I'd be like, that's a games as a service game that technically isn't, but also is at the same time.
Yeah, like they started introducing seasons, and everyone, including myself, is like, man, I don't know if you want to do this. And you start playing, and you're like, okay, that's not what I thought it was. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was actually something I was going to bring up, is the rise, fall, and then rise again of No Man's Sky. How I got to watch a game where everyone was super excited for, came out day one, and everyone just crapped all over it.
It face planted. Like
they were sort of, kind of justified a little bit, not to the extent that the internet took it, but a lot of things were promised that didn't show and didn't happen.
Right.
And now it's like damn near the be-all, end-all of video games.
Yeah, it's like all that stuff is there and more, like space building, mech driving, playing with your friends, giant nexuses, everything.
I now have the Normandy in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, who knows why?
Yeah.
But survival games. There's another one.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which No Man's Sky made me think about, because survival, nothing is hard.
Yeah, because survival games have really picked up. I've got like 5 or 6 of them free just from PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
And I've got some like new Raft one survival
Oh,
of the deep or
I just
something?
added that to my library. Yeah.
Yeah,
The raft, if it's the raft, then that looks interesting because you start basically on a plank and you have to like hook other wood and extend your raft to make it into a bigger
Oh,
platform.
I don't know if it's
don't
that. It's
think
like
it's that one.
Stranded Deep or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I think
Yeah.
it's called. But
Yeah.
there was that, me getting into Subnautica,
Yep. Ark.
which I was not looking for another survival game to get into. That game's just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up is the rise and fall of loot boxes that are slowly starting to creep back up again.
Yep. The prize mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really surprising that like I bristled the other day, not to keep talking about Destiny, but like someone, I think it might have been Jim Sterling, was like, "Oh yeah, and those loot boxes still in Destiny." It's like, no, they took those out like 2 years ago. Like they it's through no altruism of their point. They saw the writing on the wall and they're like, "Nope, you can direct purchase everything." And it's like, well, that's still not perfect, but okay, you at least don't have loot boxes now. But yeah, that's a good point where it's like loot boxes and everything, and now
Literally everything.
yeah, and now like loot boxes as they were kind of don't exist, except for like that really gross one in like was it NBA 21 where it's like go into the
With,
actual
like, the
casino
actual
and
slot
bet.
machine.
Yeah, it's just like wait, that's the wrong direction to do
You
that.
haven't played an EA game in a while, dude.
No, like I'm, and purposely because like, well, they're not making golf games anymore, but like the rest of it is just like Ultimate Team, get in here. And it's like, no, please, no,
I
please,
think
my
we talked
wallet.
about it recently, like the fact that your cards can only be used for a certain number of games.
Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah, which I
It's
didn't
just-
even know that was a thing. When
Oh,
you
it's
said
so,
that out
like-
loud, I was like, what the hell?
It's just like it's
Uh-huh.
like a caricature of loot boxes where it's like, yeah, you can only use these cards for 5 games. Then you recharge your cards. It's like gross. What?
You recharge your cards with cards that you need to actually get
right.
from opening packs.
Cards all the way down, man. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good one. My other question is one I ask myself a lot. If you were to go to prison for 27 years and could only take one game with you to be available for play, what would it be? I'll finish the rest of her email after we ask this. Jimbo Jangles brings up a great one in chat. Crossplay has been pretty big.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, crossplay, cross-save, cross-progression. Like, I can hop from on any platform I want, including Stadia, for Destiny 2, and, like, my character and my key bindings come over. Like, that's incredible. Like, that to me, that's just dark magic. Like,
There's
that's a great
something
point.
I didn't know. If you have, I learned this very recently on the Elite controllers. If you have profile set up and you take it to a different Xbox or a PC, your profiles on your controller are all still there.
Dark magic.
Cool.
How do they even do that? That's incredible. Good on you, Microsoft. Now fix the controllers, and that'll be better. But like, that's pretty cool. I have spent like the last couple of weeks thinking about this because I think this is a really great question. I think my game is Stardew Valley. Like, there's no like more relaxing kind of creative game that creative games never really click with me. But I feel like there's probably 1,000,001 ways you can kind of set up your farm. And now there's like 7 or 8 different types of farms you can run. Like, I feel like that one's kind of a good, chill, relaxing, creative thing.
I got 2.
Okay.
You can only bring one.
I know.
He'll take half of each.
I got 2. Either one is fine. If I take either one, I will be fine with either one. Minecraft, number 1.
Sure. Yep.
Because it's literally endless things you can do in that game.
Yep.
Speaking of endless things to do, Nymph might share this one with me. It's Elite Dangerous.
Yep.
There you go. Yep.
That was actually going to be my thing because I was like, Elite Dangerous, but if I can't bring my HOTAS into jail with me,
Right.
it would then end up being No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Baby Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
Because that game doesn't have the flight mechanics, but you can do anything you want, and it's just stupid fun.
Yeah.
As much as I hate it sometimes being the beta debugger for the series.
Right.
I wish that it had less limits on building, because I'd love to see the community just make a Coruscant.
Yeah, there's some cool
Take
stuff
over a
they've
whole
done,
planet.
but
Dude, one of the things that I was on top of a volcano,
yeah,
where the dude had like a whole like
a Bond villain lair.
yeah, he had like all these plants and stuff and like everything growing here. You could just walk through and grab whatever you wanted, and then you would just like help reseed some stuff. But if you fell off the platform, you were like right there in the lava.
Yeah.
Well, you have the higher ground, Nymph.
That's right.
I
You're
did
the
until I
chosen
fell
one. Binary Viking chat says Boston's real game would be an all Gambit version of Destiny 2. Man, don't threaten me with a good time. Sheesh. That'd be great. Her email continues here. Personally, even though Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, World of Warcraft, and Mass Effect are my all-time favorites, I settled on Minecraft. It's about the only game I could probably come back to over and over again over the course of all these years and still find things to do. Either that or Disgaea, just because it would take my entire sentence to fully develop a whole team of characters through the transmigration system. That is true.
Disgaea 1 still keeps me comfy.
Yeah. You'll play that thing forever. I seriously adore you guys and will continue to be your captive audience, so please keep being phenomenal. With sincerity and admiration, Clarissa, I'm going to redact the rest of her name, first of her name, Sovereign Queen of the Nerds. P.S. Recently I heard Moon say that 8 was the best Final Fantasy and 7 was the worst, which is the way that I know she's like a real listener, because she's PSing about this. And I was ready to do malfeasance upon him, but then in the same or next episode he said the bouncer didn't get as much credit as deserved, and I barely managed to stop myself from shouting, "Thank you, finally someone said it," in the middle of my dorm, so we're good now. Incidentally, I'm writing a core book for an RPG I'm creating that combines a bunch of Square IPs, including Final Fantasy, Chronos, Secret of Mana, Bouncer, Parasite Eve, and Kingdom Hearts, so I might be slightly obsessed with the studio. So, yes, and Final Fantasy VIII is incredible, and it doesn't get the credit it deserves. That's very true.
And I'm not sure if this was deliberate or not. I'm assuming it was deliberate. But can I just say how much I love the pun captive audience? That is a truly fantastic turn of phrase.
I didn't catch that. That's really good. So yes. Thank you so much, Michelle, for writing in. I sincerely appreciate you writing in. Thank you to your sibling for sending over your letter, and thank you very much for listening. I think that's an incredible thing. I think that's very special. That's gonna be something that I'm gonna remember for a good long time, because that's a very kind thing to do, and a very kind compliment to serve to us and to the show. So thank you very much.
You can tell we're not good at self-promoting and giving ourselves compliments, because he stumbled over like 67 words that were actually just a thank you for writing in.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time, because I'm genuinely very touched by this letter. It is something that I unfortunately, it's not great, but it's unfortunately something I've never really thought of. And to think that Michelle is spending her time with us, I think means a lot, and very personally. So I thank you very much for that. But that's our episode this week. Thank you very much for listening. You visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget to join the Discord server. Final Fantasy V Forge Out Fiesta 2021 pre-registration starts in a week. Heaven help us. So I just created...
How many runs are you doing? How long do I have to gut check myself this year?
God, last year I think I made it through like a run and a half before I tapped out.
I know.
So
I was so happy.
maybe a run. I'm gonna aim for a run this year. We'll start
do something crazy. You're gonna stick with the normal.
Oh no, I'm gonna do Chaos Berserker Risk. Like I'm gonna go all the way stupid. Like it's gonna be bad.
4 healers. Yeah.
It's all French to me, folks.
Yeah. Chaos means I can get any combination of any jobs, including ones I don't have unlocked. Berserker Risk means I could potentially get a party of 4 Berserkers, which means I just sit there and watch the game go.
It auto-plays.
Yeah, well...
It's your version of Loop Hero.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, another game I have to finish. So come join our Discord server, patreon.com/E1M1, ones are numbers. Talk about Final Fantasy VIII being great. It is. We're talking about Resident Evil Village being really great this week, which it is. So if you want to watch me play Resident Evil 7 and 8 back-to-back with both of my damaged hands, you can watch me do that at the $250 tier over on Patreon, patreon.com/E1M1.
There isn't a $250 tier. That's the aim to get.
Hold on.
$250.
There's a $250. That's Quitter Talk. If you want to do $250 a month, I will take your money and I will build a computer and send it to Moon in a heartbeat. So don't let's not turn away good money here. The $5 tier is the recommended one. That gets you everything. $250 a month overall for everybody. That's where we get the Resident Evil playthroughs. Resident Evil plus me crying in the dark. That's what we get. So patreon.com/E1M1. This is going all the way off the rails. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the trolley problem, except Boston's just going down the middle and missing everybody.
Yes. I'm just... Yeah. It's so good. God. Okay. Nimp, what are your titles?
I have a grand increase of 1. Lore happened. Diamond Dallas Page. Peace out, space nerds. Your team may be on fire. 250, 250, 250.
What was that one?
I don't even know what that one was.
That was crap. I don't remember now. All of a sudden,
It was so good. It went out of all three of our heads.
It was to get you. It was when he was talking about Resident Evil 8 to get you to play 7 for the 250 a month.
Gotcha.
And
gotcha.
you had said it, and yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, all right, I'm back.
Boy, that took a moment. I heard you like Suikoden. And 7, 4, 5, and Hideo Kojima.
Wait, 7, 4, 5, and Hideo Kojima. God, what a title.
That's literally gibberish to anybody who's reading it and doesn't understand the context.
It's my dream title. All right, Moon, what do you have?
There's lore stuff. Who's Osiris? 8-inch. Crystal wrapped in leather.
I'm sorry, my phone lit up. We literally just got another patron. Thank you, Michael O, for becoming a patron.
Was it $250 here?
No. Someday it will fire up, and it was somebody has just pledged for $200. It'd be like, oh man, here we go. Countdown for Moon's PC.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Crystal wrapped in leather. Fauci ouchie. Recharge your cards with cards. You have the higher ground.
Oh, it was Viking. Thank you, Viking.
Captive audience. And that's Quitter Talk.
Captive audience, and that's Quitter Talk. Okay, I have TS Joint, On Fire, one might say, Diamond Exchange. Probably my favorite of the DDP ones.
Why? I don't know why I'm struggling so much with Diamond Dynasty. It's alliteration. I love alliteration. Right. I don't know why.
Oh, it's so good. 7, 4, 5 and Hideo Kojima, Captive Audience, and that's Quitter Talk.
So choice of 2 for me.
Okay.
Captive Audience and 7, 4, 5 and Hideo Kojima. Because I think Captive Audience is just so good. That phrase itself, considering the context and everything else.
I think it's almost better in context.
Yeah. So are you thinking 745? Because you seem to really like that one.
It's so dumb.
Anything with Kojima,
are we thinking
I'm all for.
Mm-hmm. Are we thinking 7, 4, 5?
That's how I wrote it. Yeah.
I would say that's how I wrote it down.
Yeah. Okay, you guys want to do that brand of stupidity?
Yeah, I'm fine with that, dude. When is this show not stupid?
That's fair. But it's good stupid.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 709 from May 24th, 2021. 745 and Hideo Kojima.
A bouillabaisse of bonkers.
Everything went well. Yes, I will call you back, Mr. President.
Also, that's the first time we've used bouillabaisse in this show. Probably. Okay,
Dude,
we've been recording for a metric
food
forever.
cast.
So
You have said bouillabaisse before. It's food cast
that's fair.
decades.
That's fair. That's true. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.